jump into it. What is Python? Python is a high-level interpreted programming language. High-level means that this language will hide the technical details of the computer, so we don't have to deal with those high, or let's say hard details like the memory, etc. Interpreted means that it's compiled and then run in one go. It does not generate a compiled file that we could run like C or C++. It does support a vast type of programming concepts like the object-oriented programming, the functions, etc. It has a huge community support. It is famous with its code readability, and this is a very strong point in Python, that we could write a certain type. We could write in a certain type of language, very easy to understand and to read. And currently in 2025, it is mainly used in data science field, like in machine learning, deep learning, to train models. So let's just jump to the basics of programming. We have variables, operations, loops, functions and procedures, array and matrices, and classes. We'll try to cover these 6 concepts, not in this video, but in this series. We will start with the variables. So what is a variable? A variable is basically a certain type, a certain label that have a value. It's a label that have a certain value. Here in Python, we could simply declare a variable like this. A label equals a value. This label is a name, is like a representation for this value that we will use later on in our program. The Python convention for the variables is a text, underscore text, or simply text. And we could separate like some text using the underscore. For example, let's say name here equals, or first underscore name. This is the Pythonic way to declare the variables. Of course, you can declare it as you could declare these variables in your way as you want. We have very famous types of variables. Like the very first one are the integers, ints. Integers, for example, age, salary. Age, we assign a value to it like this. Age equals, let's say 50. The salary here is like a special case of ints. It is not an integer, it's like a float. So salary, usually it's a float. For example, let's say it's 100, and to represent the float we simply put point, and we add the decimal values. Let's say this 80. This is a float and this is an int. So this is a float and this was an int. This is the numerical type. We have a string type. String type. For example, as we saw before, name. To assign the value of a string type, we have to use this quotation marks, and we put inside the value we want. For example, name mark, first name mark. Let's say this is the name and this is the first name. Both have the same value. In this case, we could simply say first name equals name instead of this line. Also, we have the Boolean variables. Boolean variables are certain as like a specific type of variables that only contains two values, which are true, false values. Boolean variables are very used in conditions, so we use them as a break or as a start of a certain condition in our code. But of course, we could use them in any way we want. A Boolean variable, for example, is married. Is married, you could say false. This means that a certain person is not married, or true. So this means he is married or she is married. This is four types, the very famous four types of variables. There is also a lot of other types like lists. Of course, this list inside of them it does contain like boolean or strings or floats, ints. So these four types are the very main types that we could use in our program. I will leave you, of course, with a certain image that shows a lot of other types that we could use in our programs. Maybe in Python we don't need them. We don't need them in Python, but it's a better practice to know these details. We have also a certain, or let's say, as I said before, a good practice to declare these variables, which is variable. Wait. Then we specify the type of the variable equals the value. This is the explicit way of declaring a variable, and not, as we saw before, the implicit way of declaring a variable. This doesn't mean it's not true, or let's say it's not correct, but for a better practice, for good practices, we could, let's say, is married. Is married, and we say specific type, which is boolean, equals true. This is more readable for programmers or for other people that are going to use or to fork your project or your code. So it's better to use this type of like writing a variable than the implicit way or the simple way. I guess that's it for the very first video. I hope my language was easy to understand. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, a nice day, and see you again in the next video.